Hello world! Previously, we learned basic Git concepts that are typically used in a corporate environment. Today, we will explore some of those basic Git concepts using GitHub and Sourcetree for free. GitHub will serve as our cloud-based repository, which is widely utilized by enthusiasts and professionals alike to store and showcase code. This is the perfect place to show potential employers your mad programming skills, not a professional term. Sourcetree, on the other hand, is an application offering a visual interface for us to perform Git actions, making it an ideal starting point for beginners to grasp Git concepts. In addition, this is the most common tool I've used in a professional environment, which will add value to your programming toolkit. This tutorial will cover the basic repository setup in GitHub, installation of Sourcetree, and Git concepts such as clone, checkout, fetch, stage, commit, and branch. If that sounds good to you, let's get started. To start off, you will need to create yourself an account with GitHub. All links used today can be found in the description below. Be sure when you enter your email address that you click Sign up for GitHub and not Start a free enterprise trial, as you'll have to pay for that later. Once you've signed up, follow the prompts to complete the sign-up process. Once you get to this page, please ensure you click the free version. We will not be paying for anything today. Whoa! I have ray-shifted. And welcome to GitHub. This will be your repository for the tutorial. If you intend on staying longer than just the tutorial alone, you should totally introduce yourself to other developers through your README. Other things to note here is that GitHub does offer its own AI programming tool called GitHub Copilot. It's only a 30-day free trial, however, so I'd only suggest giving it a try if you have basic understanding of programming and system design to really make the most of it. Now let's start a new repository. If you don't intend on sharing your repository with anyone, be sure to choose private. Otherwise, choose public, if you'd like to show off your code. You can give it any name you want. I'm going to call mine My New Website. When done, click Create a New Repository. And that's all there is to it. Welcome to your new repository. We'll come back to this page later, as now, it's time to install Sourcetree. Simply navigate your way to sourcetree.com or use the link in the description below. Choose the download option that is appropriate for your operating system. Then, run the installer. As we don't have a Bitbucket account for this tutorial, it's safe to skip this registration step. In regards to additional tools, you'll need to install Git. Click Next. As for preferences, please enter the name you want to be known as when you commit to your repository and the email address used to open your GitHub account with, to keep things simple. Once done, click Next. At this point, you may see a pop-up asking if you have an SSH key. This is useful if you work in a corporate environment, as it's a more secure authentication method and allows you to perform Git actions continuously without asking for your username and password on a regular basis. As this is a basic beginner's guide, we won't be using SSH, so be sure to click No. Now, to import our remote repository, make sure you are on the clone screen in Sourcetree. Cloning is essentially the process of bringing down a copy of your remote repository to your local machine. This is typically done once per project. In order to bring down our repository from the cloud through Sourcetree, let's return to GitHub. Copy the HTTP link to our new repository and paste it into the source path URL. Make sure you're happy with the path and folder Sourcetree picked for you to store your repository in. When ready, click Clone. If this was an established repository, it would come down with the main or master branch. But seeing as there is nothing in our repository yet, we will be the ones to create the initial content and first branch. When we navigate to the folder containing our repository, we will see a Git folder, which contains metadata related to our repository. So whatever you do, don't delete it. We can now start adding our code to this folder that we want to push to our remote repository. Here's some I created earlier. for my HTML, CSS, and Google Fonts tutorials. Be sure to check them out if you're new to web development, okay? So now that we have code that we want to send to the remote repository, let's return to Sourcetree. Seeing as the folder is now tracked against our repository via Git, we can now see that we have added files and folders that do not exist in the repository yet. To get them ready to send up there, we need to stage them. We can do that by right-clicking on a file and choosing Add. Clicking the plus icon next to a file. In the file view, click the three dots, then click Stage File. Selecting the file and clicking Stage Hunk. Or, if you're happy with all the files, click Stage All. Post-production Mai here. If you wish to unstage a file, then there are a few methods you can use. Click the minus button against the desired file. With the file selected, click the three dots to open the context menu and choose Unstage File. With the file selected, directly click Unstage File. If you are not satisfied with all your changes and wish to unstage everything, simply click Unstage All. I don't know why I didn't run you through that. Once you are happy with the files that you've staged, you can commit them. For your commit message, make sure you describe what your changes are in a way that other people can understand what you did. For me, I'll write initial commit. Create a basic website template. Add HTML, CSS, font files, and an image. When you are ready, click Commit. And there we have it. We have a commit all ready to be sent to our repo in the cloud. You may have also noticed as part of the commit, a new branch called main was created. If you need a reminder on what the three main branches are or need more information in regard to staging and committing, please take a look at my Git concepts for newbies video. If you're okay to continue, click the push button. As main is our only branch and is already selected, click push again. Now, because we used HTTP to clone down our repository, we need to authenticate ourselves as by default, we are the only ones who can commit to our repository. Please sign in if you haven't already. If you see a request to authorize Git Credential Manager, please allow it. It not only provides you with a more secure way of authenticating, it allows you to perform Git actions in the same way you would with SSH, by holding on to your credentials in a secure manner, which will save you from re-authenticating numerous times. Once you have finished your authentication, your main branch and commit message would have been pushed to the remote repository. Each file or folder will list the last commit message that modified them. To see what was in that commit, simply click on the commit message. Now you can see all the files and folders that were added in that commit. Let's explore some new concepts now. I've created a new branch from GitHub. Let's learn how we can bring it down to our local machine. First, we need to perform a fetch to ensure that we have access to all the latest updates from the repository. This can be done in Sourcetree by clicking Fetch. It is fine to click OK on the pop-up. If we navigate to the middle left of Sourcetree, we will see the option Remotes. Click on it, then click on Origin. Look, there is our new Develop branch. Double-click to start the checkout process, or right-click on the Develop branch and choose Checkout Origin to achieve the same thing. Click OK in the following pop-up. There, you have successfully checked out a branch. Branching is easy in Sourcetree, so let's create a branch off Develop. Navigate towards the top left of Sourcetree and click Branch. To create a feature branch, let's type feature /. After that, you can give your branch any name you'd like. Just make sure it reflects what you're working on. For example, I'll call mine Add Footer to the web page. Please note, when naming a branch, you cannot use spaces, so I used hyphens instead. When you're happy with your branch name, click Create Branch. Done! Now we have a new feature branch. We've covered quite a lot in this video, which might be a lot to absorb if this is your first time using Git, Sourcetree, and GitHub. Before we dive into part 2, it's critical to have a solid grasp of the Git actions we performed here today. If any concepts are unclear, don't hesitate to ask me any questions you may have in the comments below. Watch the Git Concepts for Newbies video for additional context on Git actions, and conduct your own independent research. Reading up on the Git actions we covered can further deepen your understanding. In part 2, we'll delve into the intricacies of merging branches and resolving conflicts. Additionally, we'll take a glimpse into the typical merge process used in professional settings. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, this is Micro, logging out.